I made zero commissions my first 3 months in sales while working 60-hour weeks. Then a veteran told me one thing that changed everything. Within 90 days, I went from bottom performer to top sales rep on the team consistently. And now this is not about motivation. It's the exact framework that I'm going to show you that top performers use every single day. The first thing you got to understand is success isn't about being pushy. It's about listening deeply and solving their personal problem. So, at the end of a call or the end of a discussion, when you're trying to get the sale, most sales reps push harder. They try to get the credit card or they try to get the sale across the line by pushing, by force. But that's when it's time to listen deeper, to understand their pain, to understand their problem, to actually show that you care and understand their situation. When you do this properly, the sale becomes inevitable. They close themselves in to whatever it is that you're selling. The second thing, your energy determines your results. When you genuinely believe in what you are selling, your prospects can feel that. No amount of skill or special questions that you ask at the right time is going to make up for that level of conviction that they can just feel from how you talk. Sales is a transfer of energy and beliefs. If you do not believe in what you are selling, if you do not actually wholeheartedly show up to that call present, ready to tackle whatever comes your way, the person on the other end of it is going to feel that. And they're going to not believe in what you're selling, and you're not going to have as much conviction, and then you're not going to make the damn sale. The best closers aren't talking 80% of the time. They're asking powerful questions, and that is truly what they need. And they're hearing the answers that the person is giving. Most people are yeah. That sales rep that keeps talking and talking and talking. And what happens? What happens every single time? The prospect says, fuck off. The prospect says, I'm not interested. The prospect says, why would I listen to you? You just have tried to force your agenda and whatever you believe to be true down my throat. And of course, I'm just going to reject it. We naturally want to feel like we have autonomy and control over our life. You must guide the other person to the decision. And whether that's yes or no, it doesn't matter. They're 100% allowed to say no. And that is something that you should tell them at the start of a call. Why should you do that? Because it gives them more certainty. It gives them more trust in what you do. And ultimately, that's what someone actually buys on. Rejection isn't personal. It's just feedback about your approach. So, what does that mean? When you get a no, or when someone says, this isn't the right time for me, it could be that the prospect or the product or the service or whatever it is that you're selling is genuinely not a good fit for them. And sometimes that's okay. It's not always about you and something to do with you. They didn't dislike you and then not buy. Could have been the case, but it could have also been that it wasn't a fit. And so most of the time, do not take rejection personally. If you do, you are never going to make it in the sales industry. Take it as data. Take it as something that could give an indication as to what you could improve on. That's all it is. The next thing, the fifth thing that I want to talk about is track everything. The metrics that gets measured are the ones that get improved. So if you have a 10% close rate, you need to know that. You need to know that you are closing 1 of 10 calls. So what does that mean? That means you have a level to work from. And so we need to set a goal. We need to say, okay, I want to get to 15% this week. So therefore, now that we have a goal of 15%, we know we're at 10%, we understand the gap that we have, and now we can work towards the gap, or closing the gap. So, sixth thing, systems beat motivation. Having clear processes matter more than occasional bursts of inspiration. What does this mean? It means having frameworks, having structure, having a process that you bring every single person through allows for a sale to become more repetitive and become an easier process. If you're just hopping on a call, trying to freestyle it, or you're just showing up and saying whatever comes to top of mind, that is why 99% of people fail, including myself. If I showed up to a call tomorrow and I didn't have a framework, I didn't have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, I would not make the sale. That's because there's only 0.1% of people that can actually show up to a call and freestyle. And those people have put in years and years and years of work. We do not see the scars that are underneath the soles of their feet from the years that they have put in to get to that level. And so that is key. Frameworks. Now, the number seven, investing in yourself pays the highest dividends. Book courses, pay for coaches, they all compound over time. The best thing that I ever did was actually purchase a sales course. As soon as I did that, I learned from someone who was 10 steps ahead of me, and I started to speed up my process of learning. And what would have taken me 100 more years of failing and trying and failing, I just copied what someone else did and got the exact same result. It's a beautiful thing to do. Cannot recommend you invest into a coach or you invest into some form of mentorship. This will allow you to take your sales to the next level as long as you're learning from someone who's ahead of you. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, the sale happens in the follow-up. Most deals close after 5-6 touch points, but most reps give up after 2. And so what does that mean? It means follow up. Have your follow-ups dialed in. Have a simple template that you can use to just go back and forth with a potential client. What does that mean? It means, okay, they told you no. They told you check back in January. Write that down in your notes. Write that down on your CRM and check back in January. Just because they didn't buy then doesn't mean they're never going to buy. It could have genuinely just been they didn't have the time. Hope this was useful. Subscribe, like, see you in the next one.